Denver 7 On Demand is brought to you by Ferguson and BAC Appliance Center, the best in bath, kitchen, and lighting for your home.
I'm Brian Sanders.
And I'm Molly Hendrickson with an update from Denver 7. At 7 this morning, polls opened in Denver for Election Day.
By the end of the day, the city could have a new mayor. There are 6 candidates, including incumbent Michael Hancock, Penfield Tate, Caitlin Heffernan, Jamie Gillis, Stephen Evans, and Lisa Calderon. In addition, there are several other ballot initiatives that could have a big impact on your life.
Denver 7's Micah Smith walks us through what else you'll see voting today.
Both of these initiatives could have major implications for our city. Let's start with Initiative 301. This would decriminalize the possession of psilocybin or psychedelic mushrooms. It would pertain to people over the age of 21. Supporters say mushrooms are less harmful than cannabis and can help people dealing with addiction and health issues. Critics say there are no long-term studies on the effects of mushrooms on people, and Denver will become the testing ground for the legalization of more drugs. The next initiative, Initiative 300, also known as the Right to Survive Initiative, specifically addresses urban camping. Initiative 300 is asking voters if people should be allowed to sleep and set up tents in public spaces and be allowed to live in their cars. The group Denver Homeless Out Loud believes the initiative is a humane approach to a complicated issue, but the Denver City Attorney's Office points to unintended consequences.
Is that folks who are already on our streets right now, just trying to survive, will not be chased around our city by police telling them that their existence is a crime.
It'll end up in court in a lot of different ways to try and figure out what the boundaries are, since the language itself is sort of underdefined.
If Initiative 301 passes, Denver will become the first city in the United States to decriminalize the possession of psychedelic mushrooms. And if Initiative 300 passes, essentially Denver's ban on urban camping would be overturned. Reporting in Denver, Micah Smith, Denver 7.
Thank you, Micah. Polls close at 7 o'clock tonight. After that, you can count on us to bring you real-time updates on the election results throughout the night. We'll be updating you on air, on our website, and the streaming apps for Roku, Apple Fire, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire.
It has now been more than a day since 2 inmates escaped from a Jefferson County detention center. 17-year-old Emilio Dominguez and 19-year-old Javier Madera escaped the Lookout Mountain Youth Services Center in Golden early yesterday morning. They apparently broke the window of their cell and used sheets to escape. Both are sex offenders and they have ties to gangs. Today we're following up with Aurora police about a shooting that killed a teen. It happened yesterday evening near Independence Elementary School. Police are looking for the person responsible. They haven't said how the two knew each other, only that it was not random.
The drought conditions that have plagued our Colorado for nearly 2 years now are almost gone. Take a look at the latest drought monitor map released on Thursday. Less than 1% of our state now is currently experiencing moderate drought. The yellow on the map you see here is where conditions are abnormally dry. Our active winter is credited with helping out our drought conditions. Just because our state isn't as dry as it was this time last year does not mean we are out of the woods in terms of wildfires. Today, the governor's office will release its annual wildfire outlook. Denver 7's Nicole Brady has a look at how serious the threat has become in Colorado.
All 20 of the state's largest wildfires have happened since the year 2000, and more people than ever here in Colorado are having to learn how to prepare their homes for wildfire season. For one thing, we have more people living right up against the urban wildland interface, 2.9 million people versus 2 million people just 5 years ago. There have also been issues with forest health and forest management that have contributed to our worst fire seasons, and the longtime drought here in Colorado certainly has not helped.
From the weather side, though, we've had a lot of drought since 2000. We've had some really dry periods, and that's been enough to kind of take advantage of, in a bad way, of those bad fuel conditions.
The National Fire Protection Association says smaller flames and embers carried by wind are how most homes catch fire in a wildfire. So it's important to clear your roofs and gutters of any leaves or debris. You also need to prune the trees and shrubs around your house, keep those grasses mowed, and you may need to do some tree thinning, even as far as 100 to 200 feet away from your property. That can help prevent flames from jumping as quickly from one tree to the next. This year's snowpack hopefully will help lead to a less severe wildfire season. In recent history, worse snowpack years have correlated with some of our most severe fire seasons. Nicole Brady, Denver 7.
Rain and snow this week should help. Here's Lisa.
Yeah, it should. It's going to be a very soggy week. We've got quite a bit of some stormy activity expected through Thursday and some good soaking rains. In fact, here in the next 2 to 3 days, we're likely looking at over an inch of rain in some spots and even a little snow. That's possible here in town, likely Wednesday night into early Thursday. Now, our highs today, things are going to continue to get cooler as the week goes on. We're looking at some mid to upper 50s this afternoon. Brighton right around 53, Inglewood 55, and in Westminster today 58 degrees. That puts us about 7 to 10 degrees below our average high for the day, so it's going to be a little chilly and definitely soggy. Now here's a look at your Super 7 day. Today with upper 50s, we're going to see more scattered showers and a few thunderstorms this afternoon. And unfortunately, we've got 3 games here at home for the Rockies. At Coors Field, expecting scattered showers, potentially a little thunder and lightning. First pitch is at 6:40, upper 50s at that point, and then low 50s by the end of the game if it happens. We'll have to see if it's delayed or postponed, so stay tuned for details with that. Tomorrow we're at 48 degrees. The rain we're going to see on Wednesday is going to switch over to snow Wednesday night into, it looks like, early Thursday. So if your kids have practiced this next few days, it's going to be wet and chilly on the field. Make sure you check with the coaches to see if practice is canceled. Rain, again, turning to snow late Wednesday into early Thursday. So we're expecting a pretty sloppy drive early Thursday morning, though a lot of that snow is not going to stick. We have issued first alert action days through Thursday for the big change. Mid 40s for highs on Thursday and overnight lows near freezing. So if you've already planted, you're going to want to cover up or bring in those plants Wednesday night because it's going to get below freezing in some spots early Thursday morning. Now, Friday through the weekend, things will start to clear up, you guys. And by Saturday and Sunday, it's some low to mid 60s. So a little drier, a little nicer on Mother's Day.
Thank you, Lisa. We do have a sad update this morning. The only American killed in a plane crash in Moscow was a recent graduate of Colorado College in Colorado Springs. That plane burst into flames during an emergency landing over the weekend. 22-year-old Jeremy Brooks was one of the 41 people killed in that crash. The recent graduate was moving to Russia to work as a fishing guide.
The city of Denver has approved plans to redevelop a piece of land in the Elyria Swansea neighborhood into 700 apartments. This is the former AT&T site off 41st and Clayton. The developer understands people are concerned about being pushed out, so they're trying to create community by creating a performing arts center and a community playground.
This week is Small Business Week, a chance to celebrate the more than 600,000 small businesses in Colorado. One of those small businesses is Maria Empanada. Lorena Cantaravisi started the business 11 years ago and named it after her mother. She only came to the U.S. with $300 and started the business in her own kitchen.
I started my little kitchen making empanadas for friends, and yeah, I call all my few Argentinian friends and I say, hey, I'm making empanadas now.
So the business grew out of her garage. It now has 5 locations and 70 employees. She said she got a loan and business assistance from the Small Business Administration. And we know there are many great businesses here in Colorado. I will be highlighting unique and interesting Colorado companies every week here on Denver 7. So if you have a business you'd like to see featured in our newscast, be sure to email us. That address is rco@thedenverchannel.com. The company can be from any industry.
Lots of people complain about customer service, but a restaurant in Boulder has just won an award for it. Frasca Food and Wine in Boulder won the James Beard Award for customer service. The awards are like the Academy Awards for food. Some of the others who were nominated for awards include Denver's Q House and the Wolf's Tailor, Louisville's Moxie Bread Company, and Aurora's Annette.
Avs fans, get ready. There is a decisive Game 7 tomorrow night in San Jose.
With a thrilling overtime win over the Sharks last night at the Pepsi Center, the Avs head to San Jose tomorrow for a winner-take-all game.
That's right. Here's how it ended last night. Captain Gabe Landeskog scoring the game-winning goal in overtime at the Pepsi Center. And the fans went into a frenzy as the Avs win 4-3. After the game, he said his teammates will no doubt be ready for Game 7.
The group that's in here right now, we don't think about it as next year. We don't think about it as the next 2-3 years or whatever. We're living in the moment, living in the present, like you said, and that's the only way you have to look at it.
So the puck drops at 7 tomorrow night in San Jose for Game 7. When the Avs win, they will take on the winner of Game 7 between the St. Louis Blues and Dallas Stars.
How about this? Some familiar faces in the crowd last night. The Rockies tweeted out a video showing players David Dahl, Nolan Arenado, and Trevor Story all cheering on the Avs last night. So, of course, we love when our Colorado teams support each other like that.
Giving them a little love. And we know the Pepsi Center will be just as crazy tonight for the Nuggets Game 5 against the Portland Trail Blazers in the NBA Western Conference semifinals.
That series is tied at 2 games apiece. Tip-off for Game 5 is at 8:30 tonight at the Pepsi Center. This has been your Denver 7 on-demand update. Thanks for joining us.
Make sure you check back here later today for another update and download the free Denver 7 app for breaking news and alerts. Have a great day.